We'll call the August 28, 2025 Metro Flood Diversion Authority Board to order. Next, we'll have a roll call of the members.
Mayor Carlson. Mayor Dardis.
Here.
Mayor Mahoney.
Here.
Mr. Breitling.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrickson.
Here.
Mr. Pepcorn. Mr. Ebinger.
Here.
Ms. Kolpak. Here. Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Capitan. Mr. Grimberg.
Here.
Mr. Steen.
Here.
And Ms. Morgan. Quorum is present.
Thank you. Next, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 24th.
Move to approve, Chuck.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, I'd look for a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
So move. Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 4, consent agenda. Commissioner Breitling, did you have a request?
That item on the elevator be moved to the regular agenda?
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to the consent agenda with the removal of item 4E, which will become item 9B under land management update.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those, or no, we'll take a roll call vote, sorry.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Breitling.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrickson.
Yes.
Mr. Ebinger.
Yes.
Ms. Kolpak.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
And Mr. Steen.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Moving to the regular agenda, item 5, Executive Director update. Mr. Benson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair and board members. My first update is on the board retreat. We've got that scheduled for September 16th at the Cass County Commission Chambers. We're gonna, based on the direction from the Planning Committee, we had looked at doing a board retreat and a separate bus tour. We're gonna kind of incorporate both of those activities into one event. So we're asking board members to arrive between 11:30 and 12, and then we're kicking off at 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock with the board retreat at the courthouse, and then breaking and loading up onto a bus, and from about 3:15 to 5:30, spending a little over 2 hours to 2.5 hours traveling to a variety of sites where we'll probably get out at both the Maple River Aqueduct site and the Wild Rice Control Structure. And again, I think there'll be a great opportunity to not only talk a wide range of items during the retreat itself, with a big focus on O&M. That's one of the main items that we'll be discussing, as well as covering the governance policy that's been in the works for quite a while now.
I keep losing Mr. Benson's voice.
Okay, so noted, Commissioner Breitling, maybe the microphone a little closer, Mr. Benson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So if there's any questions on the board retreat, I can take those now. If not, move on to the other topics. First, the Red River Structure event earlier this month. I really want to thank all the the effort of the Corps of Engineers and Ames Construction for putting on that event, as well as all the board members that attended, and thank Governor Armstrong, Senator Hoeven, Senator Smith, and Senator Klobuchar for the great remarks. It turned out to be just a wonderful event, and something that I think we could all be proud of in celebrating the opening of that structure and rerouting of the river. So again, great event. We also had Mr. Fisher, the acting lead at Corps headquarters for Civil Works projects, and he was in attendance. Later that afternoon, we were able to have some time to sit down with both Mr. Fisher, Colonel Chase, and the Deputy Engineering Director at the St. Paul District, Carl Jansen, to have a detailed discussion on some other activities with the Corps of Engineers, and a very good discussion to be able to have with that senior level officer from the Corps of Engineer headquarters. So I think, again, especially with our activities with the Corps of Engineer, we're moving things along really well, and we're having great collaboration with the Corps of Engineers. With that, that's my update. I'll take any questions if you have anything.
Questions for Jason? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Shockley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Diversion Authority Board. I have two updates and then also an action item. The first item is an action item. Recently, in the 2025 legislative session, the legislature passed Senate Bill 2120, which established a mandatory public comment period for different political subdivisions within the state of North Dakota. That provision of the code didn't necessarily specifically reference the Diversion Authority and some other political subdivisions. However, since our member entities are subject to Senate Bill 2120, my recommendation was that the Diversion Authority follow the legislation and provide for a public comment period on the agenda. Since July, or maybe even June, the Diversion Authority Board has added a public comment period to its agenda following that provision of state law. Also provided in the state law is that the board is to pass a policy governing how those public comments are to be administered. The policy before you is modeled after Cass County's comment period, the North Dakota League of Cities comment policy, and also the Cass County Joint Water Resource District policy. So there is consistency in how the policy is implemented and operated. The policy provides that the public comment period would be the last item on the agenda, and if there is an executive session, it would be held prior to the executive session, so you're not requiring people who want to make a public comment to stay through the executive session. It also requires the submission of either a request to speak card, either online or at the meeting, and then it prescribes 15 minutes that would be made available and 3 minutes per speaker. Happy to answer any questions the board might have. This policy would become effective at your next meeting. So at this meeting, it's still open public comment. So if somebody had not previously filed a request to speak or a card, they could certainly come and speak before you during the public comment section.
Questions and/or motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Pretty straightforward. Hearing none, we'll take the roll.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Aye.
Mr. Breitling.
yes,
Mr. Hendrickson.
Aye.
Mr. Ebinger.
Aye.
Ms. Colpack.
Aye.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Grinberg.
Aye.
And Mr. Steen.
Yes.
That is everyone.
6B.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the Diversion Authority Board. The second item is an update regarding Dispute Review Board activities. The Dispute Review Board does not have any matters pending before it since the signing of the Statement of Principles. However, pursuant to their rules, they meet each quarter. They're planning a quarterly meeting in September. We don't expect that the meeting will take very long. It'll just be a procedural meeting to catch up on if there's anything going on in the project, and then they'll meet the following quarter. So they meet once a quarter. The Technical Dispute Review Board is fully organized. The Financial Dispute Review Board will be submitting, I'm still finding potential chairs to serve on the Financial Dispute Review Board that would be submitted to the two wing members that are currently on the Financial Dispute Review Board. Happy to answer any questions, but really just a update regarding the Dispute Review Board. The other item I have is just a settlement agreement implementation update. We continue to meet with the developers' leadership, the executive director, deputy executive director, and myself, their team on a bi-weekly basis to deal with different issues in the project, trying to resolve those issues as they come up before they become formal disputes. We have currently advanced most of the advanced payments through the ICE Advanced Agreement, and so we're waiting for the developer to finalize some of its interim completion element payments to get the remaining 20% of that advanced facility for each of the pay units. And as more items develop, I can give you updates, but it's pretty much just a general update. Happy to answer any questions regarding the settlement agreement implementation.
Any questions? John, maybe just, I was under the impression that the dispute board would be in a holding pattern until called, but now we're energizing them quarterly with expense wrapped around that. Is that, can there be two options? I'm just curious, because I wasn't aware that we were going to activate them and start paying them for quarterly meetings.
It's a great question, Mr. Chair. Under the project agreement, the dispute review board has independence. They have created their own policies and procedures. They have a quarterly meeting just to see if there's any activities going on or if there are any disputes pending. The idea that was envisioned is if there were disputes, the parties could bring forward informal disputes before they submitted it. It's a procedural aspect of the project agreement. We have encouraged them to limit their time. The dispute review board members have generally followed that, where they're not putting a lot of time or effort into dispute review board matters, but they are required to meet quarterly. The last quarterly meeting that we had, it was a meeting to go over the operating procedures and just note that there was no disputes pending, and then they adjourned the meeting. So.
Seems like a reason to meet, but any other questions? Okay, what's next? Project updates. Terry, you with us?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Williams is unable to make it today, so I get to stand in for her and Mr. Bakagard today. So sorry, you're stuck with me. For the core update, as was previously described, the Red River structure, the cutting over of the Red River through the structure, that event occurred earlier this month. We actually have some really good video of that event in our video update this month. So that project is actually now 82% complete. They're now focusing on the embankment on either side of the structure and tying that into the actual structure itself. Southern embankment continues to move along pretty well. Reach SE2B, which is the main reach in the Camel Hump area, that is over 52% complete now, and out there looking at it over this last week, everything pretty much south of County Road 16 to the Wild Rice structure has been completed, so they're making good progress there. Same thing with SE4, that's now up to 11% complete. Now that the weather has started to dry out a little bit, we're seeing, again, better progress being made there. The wet weather, the wet summer has hampered the progress along there, but that's now moving along quite well. And then also SE3 has started construction, and that is now 6% complete. That is the area to the west of the Red River structure, just west of County Road 81. Other than that, that's the majority of the report here. There's other minor projects. I believe the Corps is also going to be letting the final forest mitigation project in November or December of this year. So that will be the last of those forest mitigation projects. And so the next page is kind of the overview and the areas there. So all in all, the Corps is continuing to progress and doing the best they can with the weather that we had over the summer. So any questions I can try and answer for you.
Questions for Paul or Corps related? Continue.
Okay. Jumping over to the diversion channel. They have started construction on the Drain 21C inlet. That's down on the south end of the project. Looking at the 30 to 60 day outlook, We are looking at I-29, BNS Hillsborough, County Road 22, BNSF Prosper, I-94 and 38th Street, all potentially being completed in that timeframe. The Hillsborough, BNS Hillsborough is the priority for BNSF and ASN right now to get that open so that they can get traffic off the shoe fly and open up County Road 81. And then also open up I-29. With those three structures in that area opened up, that will allow for drainage to continue to the north, to the Red River from the Rush and the Lower Rush River. So they're pushing hard to get that work completed as much as they can. Therefore, then the next one for BNSF will be the Prosper Railroad as we move south, and then they'll move to the KO. We'll see how well the weather holds. The intent was to get the KO open yet this year. However, that is purely dependent upon weather. Channel excavation, they've excavated almost 37 million cubic yards of material. The main concentration has been on the south end of the project, reaches 7, 11, and 13. And so they're working on completing those as much as they can and continue to work there. The Maple River Aqueduct, the structure itself, the aqueduct structure itself is pretty much complete. They have started doing the mechanicals, adding the mechanicals to that structure, which is basically lift gates, heating system, those type of things. For that structure. Alongside of that, they're working on the spillway for the Maple River Aqueduct. No time frame yet officially as to when they're going to cut the river across the aqueduct, but anticipating that will be sometime either this fall or winter while the water is at a fairly low level. Cheyenne, they're making good progress on that. That's about 50 to 60% complete on that aqueduct. So. And we go to the next slide, you'll see some of the crossings. We talked about the County Road 81 crossing, pushing hard on that, the Prosper crossing. Actually, good news, they did open County Road 10. So the only structure north of I-94, other than those grouping up at I-29 area, is County Road 22, and they're working to get that opened up alongside the Prosper line. So you can see that we are making progress, still looking to get several of these opened yet this fall before the weather turns. And beyond that, any questions on the channel? All right, had another good, I won't say great month, where we did have one recordable and 2 first aid issues out on site. They were very minor first aid issues. One was an issue with gasoline being that splashed up in employee's face, and so they had to get medical treatment for that, but it was not a recordable event since he didn't miss work. The other event was a mishap with a circular saw that the employee needed some stitches in his leg, and so that was the recordable event. So, any questions on those? All right, then from the project controls and PMC update that way, just wanted to make you aware, and Peggy, if you could go to the next page, we'll highlight what some of the upcoming expenses. I know we've been all considering the timing and the expenses of these payments to the developer, and per their schedule, the forecasted payment date, you'll see that we have a few coming in September here. And then if you scroll down, by the end of the year, we're anticipating about $129 million in milestone payments yet to be made this year. So it's not to the 224 that we originally anticipated when we put our budget together, but we seem to be making some good progress, and we'll be starting to expend funds for those milestone payments. So that's what's coming. Just wanted to make the board aware of what we're anticipating financially that way. So, any questions along that? If not, I'll get out of the way and let you watch the video.
Started with a major milestone, and work progressed from there across the project's footprint. I'm Tom Fuchs, Senior Construction Manager with the Metro Flood Diversion Authority, with your latest FM area diversion construction update.
Is that in the video?
We begin our tour at the Red River structure, where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Ames Construction, and numerous other partners and elected leaders gathered to mark the rerouting of the Red River through the structure. It was a rare occurrence and a significant milestone that brought more than 100 people together to witness and celebrate as speakers shared comments while the 50-foot wide gates slowly opened. Work continues at several reaches of the southern embankment, a 22-mile earthen levee which will operate in conjunction with the control structures to hold back floodwaters during significant flooding. Immediately west of the Red River structure, we see Reach SC3 of the southern embankment underway. With portions of the embankment already constructed, crews are now excavating for and relocating utility lines that will pass up and over the embankment. 7 different utilities are being relocated in the early phases of the project to make way for County Road 81 to cross up and over the embankment later. About 6.5 miles south and east in Minnesota at the Clay and Wilkin County line, we get our first look at progress on Reach SC5 of the southern embankment. Crews are excavating a temporary channel and making final preparations for diverting Wolverton Creek. Once diverted, existing culverts will be replaced with a new double cast-in-place concrete box culvert that will pass under the county road, which will serve as the eastern tieback levee of the southern embankment. Work continues across the footprint of the stormwater diversion channel as well. At the Cheyenne River Aqueduct, where the Cheyenne River will flow over the channel, ASN Constructors is placing concrete for the flume and conduit structure as well as the wing walls. They also started to excavate and place sheet pile at the aqueduct's spillway. Just a few miles north, in Channel Reach 13, ASN Constructors is coordinating utility relocations of its own. Our drone view captures crews installing conductors for another one of 12 overhead power transmission lines that are being relocated. A little north of there, we can see excavation taking place in Reach 11 of the channel. Excavation work continues on the main channel with material placement in both the levee and the excavated material berms, which flank both sides of the channel. Just west of the FM Metro, progress continues at the I-94 crossings. ASN Constructors is building roadway approach embankments, placing and finishing the aggregate base, and preparing to begin concrete paving for the new westbound lanes. railroad crossings also continue under construction. Girders were placed this month at the BNSF KO crossing, and work progressed at the BNSF Prosper crossing, where the bridge deck was placed. Numerous river and drain inlets, which will permanently intercept and move runoff into the stormwater diversion channel, are also under construction. At the Rush River Inlet, crews are installing close to 15 acres of riprap and a series of 23 boulder weirs, which will protect the open channel inlet and reduce velocity as water flows downward into the diversion channel. Work has also progressed on the maintenance road bridge nearby. It's one of 9 that will provide access to the channel right-of-way for project operations and maintenance. For more updates on construction progress and the people making it happen, follow the project on social media.
Amy?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The communications team distributed a July construction update and also provided support this month for the Red River Structure rerouting. And the Red River Structure theme carried into our newsletter, which included a Faces of the Diversion interview with Tim King, who's with Ames Construction. And that newsletter performed exceptionally well, nearly an 18% click-through rate to look at those videos. We also provided some support for meeting with the water districts and a Minnesota DOT tour of the project. Are there any questions I can answer?
Question? Sorry, had a sidebar.
That's all I have. It's
Had a
okay.
sidebar. Questions? Thank you. So we have 2 items for land management. Justin will cover 9A, and then I'll turn to Commissioner Breitling for 9B. And we do have a gentleman in the audience, I believe, might want to address us, and we'll slide that, any comment on that topic into the land management update, not public comment. Justin?
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board. Today I want to give a quick lands update on everything. As always, we give the depiction, as you can see here, showing the actual project area. We focus more on the right depiction. That is indicating the flowage easement status. Green means that we've acquired at this point in time. Blue is areas that we are either negotiating or do not have any eminent domain action filed on those properties. And then the orange color is properties that we do have eminent domain actions on right now. From a high level, the acquisition progress to date, we haven't had any changes on construction footprint area. However, that upstream mitigation area, we do see another uptick since last meeting as we continue to acquire these pieces. Breaking this down a little bit more, there is no changes in that southern embankment area. Upstream mitigation area, as noted before, has increased, as well as some of the environmental monitoring easements. And as always, we have completed the Drayton Dam in-town levees, stormwater diversion channels, and then Oxbow, Hick, and Boxey. Next is the landowner overview, and we break this up to show both the owner groups as well as the actual parcels. We focus primarily on the UMA, which is probably the most important, knowing the acquisition statuses. One thing to note, though, is as we continue to go up on the overall parcels being acquired, we did see an increase as well with those owner groups that settled. Key activities. As always, we do continue to negotiate and keep open discourse towards any settlement agreement for existing eminent domain actions going on. Last month, we were highly successful, closing another 6 parcels with 3 owners within that UMA. We did complete our first eminent domain trial in Cass County, and we will continue forward with that progress. Continuing at disposal of excess lands, we are offering, again, up more lands throughout this. We have 8 parcels for 95 acres that are actually moving through the policy. And then we've actually been able to sell or pen close on 38 parcels, almost exceeding 670 acres. We did have the opportunity to meet with landowners along the rail corridor in Horace in understanding a desire for landowners to acquire adjacent property. That's part of the disposal acquisition. We had a disposal process. We did have a discussion yesterday with the Lands Committee, and we will continue to work with those landowners to see if we can come up with a resolution with that. We will discuss this shortly, but we did complete our first auction of excess lands. We had 6 parcels that were part of that. We had reserve pricing that was set. 4 out of the 6 parcels did meet the reserve pricing. And I will give a little more demographics, I think, to that, if you don't mind, Chairman, the next portion. Perfect. Next on here is we actually circulated that final PRAM document to the state agencies as well as to the Army Corps of Engineers. We did get a little bit of feedback from the Army Corps of Engineers, but have not received anything from the states. And then lastly, since last meeting, we were part of a producer focus group that does relate to that PRAM document, discussing some crop insurance aspects post-construction, which was really constructive, and a piece that we will continue to work on this next spring in having an in-person meeting with some of our consultants and those producers in that group. And then lastly is the land agent reports. As always, our agents are working diligently to help with all advisory and claim preparation processes for those that are relocating. Additionally, RIMP reimbursement payments and requests are being made, and then they continue to help with us in the negotiations of different easement aspects. With that, I'd be more than happy to take any questions on the overview of lands.
Questions for Justin? Commissioner Breitling? Commissioner Bright?
Mr. Chair, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, you're coming through loud and clear, Commissioner Breitling.
All right, the Land Management Committee met yesterday, and concerning the actual elevator item, moved to recommend to the Diversion Authority Board that the single bid received be rejected because it was dramatically less than the reserve required on that property, and that the Diversion Authority is recommended to approve the technical committee to negotiate with realtor or realtors to negotiate a possible placement for the elevator for sale with such a realtor. Apparently, there was some verbal discussions that suggested that there were interests substantially higher than what we had received in the way of bid. And since we're looking to try to save the taxpayer money, we believe that the appropriate way is to authorize the technical committee to negotiate with one or more realtors to list that property and negotiate approximate sale of those items, or that item. I wanted to report that action to the Diversion Authority Board.
Thank you, Commissioner Breitling. I believe and I'm not going to ask for a motion yet, I believe we have one motion to accept the Land Committee's recommendations as approved yesterday, which would approve the projects you discussed, Justin, and reject the elevator project in particular. I believe that's one motion. And is there a second motion required to direct staff to list this on a commercial real estate exchange, or is that under the operating schedule allowed for staff decision under board direction without a motion?
I would think that a second motion to authorize that type of negotiation would be in order.
Okay. I'm seeing no heads nodding yes or no, so I'm assuming that's okay. But before I entertain any motions, I would invite Mr. Dwyer, if he wants to share his thoughts to the board. He and I had a couple different conversations on this, and I did provide him the assurance that if he wanted to address the full Diversion Authority, we'd make that available to him. And so, given that it's related to an agenda topic, it's certainly pertinent that he comment under the agenda item.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to address you today. I did win the auction for the Horace elevator, and attending the meeting with me today is City Administrator Brent Hulper from the City of Horace. I submitted a letter just yesterday, so sorry for the late notice.
Which, just, everybody has a copy of that, just so you know.
Okay, perfect. So the letter, indicates maybe some of the recent comparable sales, and it also, addresses some of the challenges that developing the property would include. It also includes the resolution from the City of Horace supporting the winning bid. And so I guess I just wanted to, offer myself if the board had any questions.
Questions? Comments? Commissioner Steen, Commissioner Breitling?
I have no further comment.
I do not have any comments, I as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll have two motions. What are your wishes?
Move the original motion that is recommended by the staff.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just want to
Campbell.
note that in the Lands Committee that this topic was discussed and it did pass with 100% in agreement with the recommendations.
Everybody understand the motion? Other questions? Hearing now, we'll have Don take the roll.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney. Mr. Breitling.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrickson.
Yes.
Mr. Emminger.
Yes.
Ms. Kolpak.
Aye.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
And Mr. Steen.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Next, I'll entertain a motion to list the property as stated by Commissioner Breitling.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, we'll take the roll.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mr. Breitling.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrickson.
Yes.
Mr. Emminger.
Yes.
Ms. Kolpak.
Aye.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
And Mr. Steen.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Item 10, Mayor Dardis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your Finance Committee met yesterday. We approved $1,887,247 worth of bills that were presented at this reporting period. We have a net cash position of $320,239,474. And I would remind you on the report that Mr. Barthol shared with us today that our forecast for expenditures due to the developer through 2025 is $129,033,079. So the committee also listened to and approved MOUs and agreements as listed in the agenda, as well as approving 5 contracting actions. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'd stand for any questions.
Questions
No.
for,
Yep.
questions for Mayor Dardis?
I'd move approval of the finance report.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll take the roll.
Mayor Dardis.
Yes.
Mr. Breitling.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrickson.
Yes.
Mr. Emminger.
Aye.
Ms. Kolpak.
Aye.
Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Grimberg.
Aye.
And Mr. Steen.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Any other business?
Mr. Chair, I just have an
Okay.
announcement. It's probably appropriate at the end of the meeting. That's okay. You want to know?
Well, let's get the public comment out. Public comment, anyone online or in the room that would like to provide public comment? Hearing or seeing none, Commissioner Kolpak?
Yes, I would say congratulations and happy anniversary, 49th anniversary to Mayor and Ms. Dardis. today.
49 years. I didn't know people could get married at 10 years of age.
Senator Hogan always introduces my wife as my daughter.
Next meeting is September 25th. We are adjourned.